mic for a second there, the pillow guy. But yeah, he's still selling his pillows and mattresses and slippers, and Bed Bath & Beyond is going bankrupt. One other thing that I want to take your calls. You know, this hit me as I've been thinking about teaching in the book of Revelation, thinking about this. You know, climate change, the devil is a counterfeiter, right? Climate change is the devil's counterfeit apocalypse. It's his way of saying to people, there is going to be a judgment, but it has nothing to do with God. It has to do with mankind's violation of the environment. But he can save you from it with the likes of AOC and John Kerry and you know, you name it. You name the environmental activists that are out there, often making millions of dollars touting this stuff. What is her name? Greta Thunberg. Yeah, just fame, fortune. No, not to mention Al Gore, by the way. Fame, fortune, notoriety, being little messiahs saving the planet. So Satan's got a counterfeit messiah, the Antichrist, and he's got a counterfeit apocalypse, climate change. 888-589-8840 is the number, but God is going to have the final word. All right, let's take some of your calls. Let's go to Juan in Ohio. Juan, welcome.
Hello, Bishop. Thank you very much for taking my call, and thank you very much for your show too. Okay, you're telling it like it is, and I know a lot of people hate it, but you know what? It's not you, it's not me, it's God saying it. And I have a comment, and you know, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. 80s, I was already a teenager, but I remember they used to, people, like guys that used to dress like women, they used to call them transvestites,
right.
You know?
Right.
And then became the word transsexual, you know, guys that wanted to be women. But those words have disappeared from their vocabulary. The left is pushing transgenderism now like it's an actual thing. They figure the more they say it, the more real it's going to become. But it's easy to be a transvestite. All you have to be is dress as a woman, you know? But you can't be transgender. That's just crazy.
Right. Exactly. But you see, Juan, and thank you for the call, by the way, and thanks for listening. Yeah, that's the thing. They want to convince people, though, that it is possible. And you're right. The change of language from transvestite to transsexual to transgender is to say, no. We're not just crossing over sexually or cross-dressing. No. We are of a different gender than the one you thought. And you're right. That is a physiological and genetic impossibility. Thank you for the call, Juan. Let's go to Mark in Tennessee. Mark, welcome.
Yes.
Hi, Mark.
Bishop
Good
Jackson.
afternoon.
Well, I'm disappointed in Tucker Carlson being fired from Fox. I think it's going to come back to bite them. But that's not really my main topic. My main topic I was just going to go over, and we've heard this before, and you've talked about it. The Biden administration, it's really illegitimate administration, not duly elected. We all know what happened during the 2020 election. Joe Biden and his administration is sold out to China. In my opinion, he should be ousted, and really to the Chinese Communist Party. You got corruption to the max, $80 billion left for our enemies in Afghanistan, weakening our military and defense, pushing the transgender and homosexual agenda, not protecting and defending our country, allowing and encouraging an invasion at our southern border, such as Article 4, Section 4 in the Constitution states. And words that come to my mind are treason, traitor. And states can step in and help repel the invasion, according to Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution. So if there's any states out there listening, help Texas do it. That's my comment for today. Thank you.
Well, Mark, a very prescient comment, because for the next 2 years, it's going to take states to do it. And right now, as I've said, folks, there's a caravan of 3,000 illegal immigrants heading for our border right now. Now, that's not including the normal onslaught. That's a group of 3,000 coming toward our border right now. And this stuff is not going to end unless someone puts a stop to it, and it may take the states doing it in order to get it under control. See, and by the way, everything else you said, treason, traitor, I believe every single one of those adjectives, nouns, describing, categorizing who Joe Biden is and what his family has done are absolutely apropos, absolutely accurate. Because when you sell influence to a foreign enemy or adversary, you sold out our country. As far as I'm concerned, you have committed treason. It's sad to think that we've got a president in office. And by the way, for all the people who question, those of us who question the election, I'm reading another book on American history, and the election of Rutherford B. Hayes was hotly contested. He won by one electoral vote, just one electoral vote. And of course, he spent his whole administration with people saying that he was an illegitimate president. It's not the first time it's happened in history, and it might not be the last, but you are certainly somehow disqualified from public discourse by questioning an election. It's happened at other times in American history. It happened between George Bush and Al Gore. So this stuff of, anybody who questions the outcome of the election is crazy. A conspiratorial thinker should not be given a platform or allowed to speak. It's just nuts. And you're right. We don't know what happened with Tucker Carlson. I have a feeling it has to do with the 2020 election. I really do. Thank you for the call, my friend. Let's go to RJ in Pennsylvania. RJ, welcome.
Hello, Bishop. Have you ever seen the show The Weakest Link with Jane Lynch, Bishop?
No.
Well, Friday night, she had twins on. And it's questions about world history. She had twins on her show, and these two characters, Bishop, they had dress shirts on in the pink coat. They wore lipstick, earrings, eyeshadow. I thought, oh my Lord, what has gone wrong with TV today? Thank you, Bishop.
I don't know. I'm not sure I know what to do with that one. But I'll tell you one thing, folks. I don't watch much network television in general. I don't really get to watch a whole lot of television in particular because I'm usually busy doing other things. I often have the television kind of on in the background. And sometimes I'll tape programs. I really like, things like Body Cam, and I like, sort of reality crime solving shows. And I'll look up, because I'll fast forward through the commercials. And just as I'm about to fast forward to get to the next part of the show, you got two men in a lip lock. And it's just thoroughly shocking and disgusting. And they want us to get used to it. We never will. Back in a moment.
So they asked me to enter my email address. And the next thing I know, I start getting emails from companies I never even knew existed. What's up with that?
Here at the American Family Association, you have our word that we won't give away, sell, or lease your email address to any other organization or company. We're thankful when you take the time to subscribe to AFA Action Alerts, 1 Million Moms, Engage Magazine, or any of our other online newsletters. God made his design for marriage absolutely clear. July 6th through the 8th at the Cadence Bank Arena and Conference Center in Tupelo, Mississippi, it's the Marriage Family Life Conference 2023. Strengthen your marriage and your family with Abraham Hamilton III, Dr. Kathy Cook, Miki Addison, and many more. The Youth Apologetics track is back as well. The Marriage Family Life Conference 2023 for His glory alone. Register today at marriagefamilylife.net.
We live in a day when America's families are under attack like never before.
Buddy Smith, Senior Vice President of the American Family Association.
The war against biblical principles rages on numerous fronts. The internet, Hollywood, Washington, D.C., America's corporate boardrooms, and the list goes on. At American Family Association, we're committed to standing against the enemies of God, the enemies of your family. And we recognize it's an impossible task without God's favor and your partnership. Thank you for being faithful to pray for this ministry, to give financially, and to respond to our calls for activism. What you do on the home front is crucial to what we do on the battlefront. We praise God for your faithfulness, and may He give us many victories in the battles ahead as we work together to restore our nation's biblical foundations.
Sometimes you see a win, a glimpse of God in this broken world. Preborn rejoices in the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Preborn's mission is to love and help women in unplanned pregnancies by offering them the truth to help them make the right choice by providing free ultrasounds. You see, when an expectant mom hears her baby's heartbeat and sees the image of her baby on ultrasound, she's seeing a life created in God's image, and it's a divine connection.
And I got to hear and see my baby for the first time. Hearing the heartbeat made me cry, and it was certain that I was going to keep my baby forever.
To learn more about Preborn's life-saving work, go to preborn.com. That's preborn.com, or dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 and say baby. All gifts are tax deductible. Your love can save a life.
Back to the Awakening with Bishop E.W. Jackson on American Family Radio.
We're back. The number is 888-589-8840. Let's get back to your calls. Let's go to Harrison in Texas. Harrison, welcome.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I appreciate you letting me on this show. I drive around for a living, so I saw this billboard that was referencing Dylan Mulvaney, and it said LOL crybabies, and Bush Budweiser, they made that billboard. I thought it was so offensive because they're calling people who believe in God and live a holy life crybabies. This is basically war, and they're starting to turn the tide to their side.
Well, Harrison, thank you for the call. They lost $6 billion, and they've had to fire, they claim they suspended, or they've taken a leave of absence, 3 people responsible for this decision. So if anybody's crying, I'm sure it's them. But you're right, we're not crying. We're just disgusted with a company pushing this stuff on our culture. And we've had it. And people basically voted with their dollars. And so they're the ones who better be crying, because they're going to keep losing money if they keep insulting the American people. Thank you for the call, Harrison. Let's go to Archie in Texas. Archie, welcome.
Good morning. Here's a suggestion for your theme on getting back to God. Deuteronomy 28, at the dinner table, out loud, every financial quarter or more often, with special attention to verse 34, which just says, "Sin will drive you mad." That's all I got.
All right, Archie. Well, listen, that's a great, Deuteronomy 28 is a great text, which lays out the different results you get by obeying God versus rebelling against Him. Couldn't recommend a better text. Let's go to Jonathan in Ohio. Jonathan, welcome.
Hey, Bishop, how you doing, sir?
Great, Jonathan. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for taking the call. I wanted to talk about real briefly the key word that you mentioned before the first break were 1:30 break. Instability. And what comes to mind is James 1:8, where it says that a double-minded or two-souled man is unstable in all of his ways. And Bishop, the J.B. Phillips translation says it this way, that a man of divided loyalty will produce instability at every turn. And this is what we saw on hyper sensitivity when Barack Obama got elected. We saw a man of divided loyalty. And since then, it has only increased. And now what we see it taking on the whole culture, where we have a people who have divided loyalty and is continuing to produce instability at every turn. You can't have disregard for the Constitution without having disdain for the people that it was created to govern.
Wow, Jonathan, very, very well, eloquently said. And you are absolutely right, because these people are, they have no real loyalty. They betrayed our country, and they betrayed God. And their real loyalty is to themselves and their Marxist and socialist and godless agenda. And yet they want to keep claiming, oh, no. We're the ones concerned about America. So, man, that was powerfully said. Thank you for the call, Jonathan. Okay. You've also been waiting patiently. Darlene in Virginia, welcome.
Hello, Bishop. I just wanted to say hello from Virginia, where I actually saw you in New Kent when you were running for office.
Well, wonderful, Darlene. Good to hear from you.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to say I think Fox has just shot themselves in the foot. They got rid of Dan Bongino, who was another person who was very highly rated in their customer base. And now Tucker. I believe Tucker said some things that they found very disturbing in regard to transgenders and how taking God out of school has caused a lot of issues. He wasn't saying anything about he believed in God, but he was making the point that this is a problem. And we already know that.
You know, Darlene, thank you for the call, and thank you for bringing up Dan Bongino, who, as far as I am concerned, is an American hero. And this man served in the police department, served in the Secret Service, and is really a great patriot. And you're right, both Tucker Carlson and Dan Bongino are gone. Thank you for the call, Darlene. I'll say quickly, folks, 12 years ago now, 11 years ago, I had a friend of mine say to me, he was running a major conservative online magazine. Fox News is going to change because the father's turning things over to the sons, and the sons want Fox News to be more liberal. They want Fox to be more liberal. And everybody heard that. It was at a meeting when he said it, and everybody heard that and went, okay. He was right. He was absolutely right. Thank you for the call. Let's go to, you've been waiting patiently as well, Bill in Tennessee. Bill, welcome.
Yes, thank you, Bishop. Bishop, when do you think black people will come to the realization that voting Democrat doesn't get them anything? Biden is spending millions upon millions in that proxy war overseas, and not $1 has he said would go to these American cities that need reinforcement of police, need infrastructure, more teacher pay. We can go down the list. Not $1 has he offered to the black community. So when are black people going to wake up?
Well, Bill, thank you for the call. Thank you for the question. I don't know when, but I just believe that there is a tipping point that's coming soon, because they're going so far. You didn't even mention, they're spending millions to promote the homosexual agenda and same-sex marriage. They're spending millions to advance the atheist agenda. They're spending millions in this country to advance the transgender agenda. And you're right, in the meantime, most black people are going to these government schools that are leaving them functionally illiterate, leaving at the bottom of the barrel in terms of their educational experience, which means the school to prison pipeline is being built by the Democrat Party. So you're right. That's the $1 million question, isn't it? When are people going to wake up? But I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep sounding the alarm. Let's put it that way. Let's go to George in North Dakota. George, welcome.
Hi, Bishop. Thanks for taking my call. Let me make this quick. I have a lot to say. I've heard this term on your program many times and in others called the gay agenda. And to my understanding, that means gay and transsexual people wanting to be accepted, included, and wanting the same rights as everyone else. But it seems to have, in right-wing circles, this amorphous meaning that could be anything depending on